So in the latest episode of HBO's Run, we see that Billy and Ruby go back to the farmhouse to get her phone. The cops are now involved, and Billy just has a really bad habit of leaving his coats places. We're going to talk about that and much more. Episode 6 of Run was titled Tell. Stranded in the middle of nowhere, Ruby and Billy argue about what to do next. Each affected by the other's desperation, the two must come together to confront their actions. Meanwhile, Laurel makes a gruesome discovery and receives a eventful visit from Detective Babe Cloud. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with my weekly recap, breakdown, and review of the latest episode of HBO's Run. We only got one episode left, and this one was probably one of my favorites thus far. We're going to talk about it and all of that and break it down in the spoiler discussion. But before we do that, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. If you're new to this channel, definitely consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Give this video a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel, but also really appreciate it. And if and when you've seen episode 6 of Run, I want to know what you all thought of this episode. Did you find it funny? Are you intrigued by these new characters? Let me know your thoughts on what you hope to see in the finale of next week's show Run. So yeah, guys, this was easily one of my favorite episodes. This one, the comedy worked a lot better than previous episodes. Again, comedy is very subjective, but this episode really answered a lot of my questions. Number one, breaking it down first and foremost, we see that Billy and Ruby go back to get the phone. They go back, they get it, but then obviously Laurel, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, sees the body, calls the cops, and that's when we get the comedy element, right? We see the two cops, which at first I'm just like, here we go again with these characters so far are very unrealistic. You know, their reaction to things seem to be a little bit overdrawn, kind of slapstick funny, with these cops kind of talking about, you know, don't spoil the TV show for the night. This is their first time really being involved in a murder case, and some of that comedy wasn't working. But as we get to know Detective Babe Cloud and seeing her interaction with Phoebe's character Laurel, I thought the show really had a little bit of charm and charisma. I would argue to say more so than our main characters Billy and Ruby. But speaking of Billy and Ruby, we do see, again, as I had kind of talked about these last few weeks, everything I've been saying about Ruby, yes, she's a robot at this point. She's not happy in her relationship with her husband. She is a loving mom, but at the same time, parenthood, not everyone's fit to be a parent, right? They love the idea of being a parent, but actual responsibilities weigh on them, and they kind of lose themselves in either being a wife or being a mom or dad. So it kind of answers those questions I had posed in the last few episodes. But we also find out that Ruby and Billy had a baby of their own, but, you know, Ruby made a decision to not have the baby. So we kind of get some more character development. At this point, and we have one episode left, and obviously I'll talk about it more next week in the finale, but this show may have worked better if it was a TV show, or I'm sorry, a movie versus a TV show, but we'll talk about that next week. But this episode, guys, really, the comedy worked for me. I was really intrigued by the story thus far. Again, the whole complex conversation between Ruby and Billy. Does Ruby go to the cops, which he was going to do at first, but then as they kind of discuss things, they find out that the train's still in town, and they can just jump on the train and act like nothing ever happened. But of course, Billy leaves his coat behind, which we know Billy left his coat on the train. Now he leaves Laurel's coat in the bar, and I thought that scene was kind of funny when she was singing. Again, I'm a big Phoebe Waller-Bridge fan, and I like her kind of chemistry with the cop. And like I said, their chemistry has been like a little bit better than Ruby and Billy in the previous 6 episodes. But either way, again, this episode was really funny to me. I thought it was witty. I thought it was clever. And like I said, we got one episode left, so we'll see how things kind of play out. Again, I like that the episode really gave us what a lot of the other episodes did. And again, backstory on Billy and Ruby's relationship, their past, you know, decision that Ruby made about them having a baby, her confronting Billy about, you know, what was she's going through in her life. And I love that Billy called her out for what we've been talking about in the last few weeks in the comments. She abandoned her kids and her husband. So I love that Billy called her out for that. And obviously she didn't like that reaction. A lot of back and forth between them. But again, character development, really good storytelling. And this was probably my favorite episode of the season. And hopefully this momentum carries over to the finale, which again, I thought it was 8 episodes, but I think next week is officially the finale. But Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you think will happen to Billy and Ruby about the body? Will they get caught? Will Billy just tell the cops it was him and Ruby had nothing to do with it? What will happen with Ruby and her family? What will happen with Laurel and Detective Babe Cloud? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. As I had mentioned in my last few reviews, just this past weekend, I crossed 3,000 subscribers. I can't thank you enough for the continued support. I will be doing probably like a live Q&A, Ask Me Anything in the next couple weeks, probably the last weekend of May. But before May, and again, thank you guys for 3,000 subscribers. I can't wait to see where this channel go and continues to grow. But this Saturday, May 23rd, 6 p.m. Central Time, we're celebrating. We're doing another watch along on this channel. I've been having such a blast bringing on guests and interacting with you all. But this Saturday, I'm doing a watch along with 5 other people on this channel for the 40th anniversary of The Shining. Can't wait to break that down, talk about horror. I love it, so definitely tune in this Saturday. Of course, check out all my other content I did over the weekend, and I'm going to be on some other channels doing some watch-alongs, so follow me on my Instagram so you know where I'm going to be at, and always check out that community tab because that's where you get the latest updates for this channel. So thank you guys again for the 3,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching this review, and we'll see you soon.